Over 30 million copies of Stardew Valley have been sold, but only 0.8% of people have the game's hardest achievement. So during the next 100 days of my playthrough, that's what we're gonna try and get. But there's a lot we need to get done. I have to ship one of every item, get all of the obelisks on my farm, complete the Adventurers Guild goals, achieve max heart with every villager, level 10 in every skill, find all the star drops, cook every recipe, craft all the items, catch every fish, and find all the golden walnuts, and more. Since this is the continuation of my last video, I already have 100 days under my belt, but the only thing I have done in that list is level 10 in every skill. So there's really no time to waste. Let's get started. It is day 1. My iridium pickaxe is ready. We got this new quote-unquote dude Kent coming to the valley, and ultimately, I need to get my farm set up. I grabbed every crop I would need for the recipes and to be shipped, as well as every single fruit tree. Needless to say, I am broke. On my way to get my pickaxe, I talked to as many people as possible, even getting a George cutscene, as well as a Clint one. I hate that dude. I don't care at all. Ew. The last couple of hours in the night, I spent planting all of my crops and trees. Day 2, I again tried to talk to as many people as I could, but ultimately, it was fishing day. So we headed to the mines, where I caught a stonefish, struggled with the ice pip, and I gave up trying for the lava eel, because I did not have the mental to go through all that trash. And when I left the mine, I got a little Linus cutscene. I continued the fishing trend so I can get it all done at the beginning of the season. First trying for the scorpion carp, which I found out later I totally already had. And at the end of the day, picked up some fish like the bream, failing to get the goby, which is what I was really going for. But when I went to bed, lightning struck the Joja Mart. Interested to see what that's about. Today, I decided was going to be the day I finally got my lava eel. But I had some quick tasks to do first, like finally setting out some lightning rods so I can get the boat fixed soon. I upgraded my hoe, had a massive amount of cutscenes to go through, the most important one being the wizards. It had weird lore and a quest for me to get done, but once all that was done, I headed to floor 100. And I wasn't gonna leave until I got that lava eel. I got that so much quicker than I was expecting. So quick, in fact, that I got another one. On my way home for the night, I stopped by the missing bundle, but I'm not rich enough for that, so it'll have to wait. Not gonna lie, Friday was not as cool as it could have been. My first set of turnips are done. I gotta wait another day for the other set. I checked the traveling cart and went right below it to fish for the smallmouth bass. And of course, I spent the entire rest of the day fishing for the goby. Why is it so hard to catch? But that finishes all the regular fish I need for spring. The only one left is the legend. Ugh. Since you can only gift people twice a week, I really needed to allot 2 days where I just straight up gifted people. And today, even though I really didn't want to, was that day. Because it was the last day of the week. I'm also gonna try and do any of the help wanted quests. I know I didn't really do that last video, but they're relatively easy. I got a George cutscene, and when I went to gift Krobus, I kind of forgot about the Dark Talisman quest. So now, the bug layer is open. Day 7 started with shipping some items I knew I needed to complete for the collections menu. I picked up my copper hoe from Clint, got some seeds needed for the cooking recipes, and then went to get some fish in the lake for said cooking recipes. I'm also skipping over this cutscene I got because I thought it was weird and gross, so no. Monday, day 8, was the day I had been dreading. It is raining, and it is the perfect day to catch the legend. I have never caught a legendary fish before, but today would be the day. I headed over to the lake and sat, caught a couple of scrubs, and there it was. I failed. But the second try, I did it. I actually have no idea what to do with it now, but I did it. At the end of the day, celebrating by getting a sneaky little mermaid's pendant from this dude on the beach. Cannot wait to use that later. After the success of yesterday, I spent the entirety of day 9 chopping trees. Day 10, on the other hand, was pretty cool. I had been wanting a pond for a while, and now that I have some lava eels, I thought it was a good enough purchase. I'm really just hoping that this will be a decent enough background moneymaker, but we'll see. I planted some mahogany seeds to get more hardwood, and lost a bunch of hardwood. Don't talk to me, I am so upset. And spent the afternoon in the mines. For completion, I need to complete all the monster eradication goals, and I'm very behind. Luckily, I'm also working on artifacts in the process, so it's a decent enough combo. On day 11, I woke up rich. So after harvesting some parsnips, I went and got more pigs. I know I had a dessert name theme going on, but I ran out of names to use. So welcome Butterfinger and Payday, literally, because hopefully they make me tons of cash. I replanted my parsnips, put my tappers on the wrong f***ing trees, and got set up for a potential Skull Cavern run. No, we did not do Skull Cavern on day 12. It just wasn't lucky enough. Instead, we went to the sewers. I got all prepared thinking it was gonna be some super hard dungeon. No. But once I collected the Dark Talisman, I took it over to the train station to see what was in the cave. That actually scared the shit out of me. Yeah, I did not know a goblin would be there. And because he scared me so bad, I got some void mayo to get rid of him. Once I made it into the hut, I found the wizard's lost ink and was able to return it, successfully completing the quest. So day 13 was the Egg Hunt Festival, and I lost so bad that I just straight up went to sleep as soon as I got home. But clearly I needed all that rest because day 14 was the perfect day to make it to floor 100 in the Skull Caverns. I made my way over as early as I could and got super lucky. 8 floors and instantly 8 more floors. My luck was unmatched. I used the staircases if a floor was too skinny and blew up bombs to reveal holes that led me down 11 floors. The only thing I had against me at this point was time. 1 a.m. and I was at 95. I dropped a couple more floors, which put me at 99. I had 1 bomb left, no staircases, and it was 150. Oh my god, no! No! I had it! I was devastated. And I couldn't even continue the next couple of days because of the desert festival. So I planted my strawberries and went to check things out. I'll combine day 15, 16, and 17 because they're all the same. I got some new clothes while I was there, caressed this dude's hand enough to have couple of free meals. I did one of the Skull Caverns quest, which was to reach level 30. I easily did that. Everyone had shops set up, and I'm kind of an idiot, because I didn't realize Jas was selling an ancient doll, and I really needed that for the museum. I did a fishing challenge for scorpion carp. Found this random man in the bottom of the map. He gave me a free cactus, as the sign suggests. And finally, bet on the cutest chicken I've ever seen in this race. Of course, winning, which gave me some calico beans. Throughout everything I had done during the festival, I saved up a bunch of beans, ending up using them to get speed grow. And as much fun as that was, I just want to get to floor 100. So when I woke up the next morning, I checked my TV. Yep, okay, let's go. I'm not gonna lie, I redid this day 3 times. It felt like I was having the worst luck. I was struggling to get ladders, let alone the holes. But eventually, I did it. That took 4 tries. I won't lie, it's very, very bittersweet, but it's done. Totally passing out on my farm at the end of the day. After the stress of yesterday, we chilled out on day 19. I used the new big chest to put together all the items I needed for cooking. Yeah, that's literally all I did. It is now Saturday, and I really neglected the villagers, so I spent all of the day making sure they got their gifts. It was also Shane's birthday, so really glad I did this today. Day 21 started with a suspicious cutscene. That ended with me getting a mini jukebox, I guess. I had planned to do the exact same thing as yesterday, but this time, I was going to get Shane a different gift. Honestly, what a guy for putting our wedding together. So sweet. I picked up my hoe from Clint, got an Evelyn cutscene. Before Willie closed up the shop for the day, I wanted to repair the boat. but it didn't let me put the hardwood in, which is when I realized I could have repaired the boat ages ago. I had no idea I put the hardwood in already. The entire reason it took 21 days was because every morning I was collecting hardwood. I am so mad. So yay, we can go to Ginger Island now. Ugh. Instead, I had a different idea for day 22 and 23. I want my missing artifacts. I need them for completion, so I went to till in the mines. That clearly was not good enough. I left on day 23 with only one artifact. Day 24 is the Flower Dance Festival. And wouldn't it be so awkward if I didn't ask my fiance? Thankfully, he said yes, if you can call this a yes. And while the dance was going on, I genuinely felt a little bad for Emily, but I can't do anything about that now because the next day was the wedding, which was pretty sweet. I do like that it said that life would be different. Not at all. Even. I took my ass right back to the mines. I really gotta stop doing this. I just have not been benefiting. You know what I will benefit from? Putting crab pots in fresh water. I was really confused as to why I wasn't getting snails. It definitely took a while, but now I know. I went around town getting a couple cutscenes, but the best one of all, getting on the boat to Ginger Island. I hopped off the boat and immediately scared this little kid. I am so sorry. But after giving this parrot a golden walnut, I think he's starting to come around. Once I left the area, I followed this little flame guy into a volcano, but I started getting my ass beat, so I left. I genuinely have never played Ginger Island before, so bear with me, I'm gonna try my best. At the beginning of day 27, I harvested my last thing of strawberries, and with some of my materials, made some new mushroom logs. I want to try out the dehydrator soon. Since it was Saturday though, I had to gift a bunch of people. A lot of them congratulating me on my wedding, which was kind of cool. But that leads us to the last day of spring. I wanted to get ahead and get my farm ready for all the star fruit I was gonna plant, but I did my math wrong. I spent half of the day trying to fix my farm, and it was perfectly fine the way it was. That's gotta be the dumbest thing I've ever done. I went to go grab all the star fruit I needed, as well as the deluxe grow. I was really worried about missing any fish or something from the season, but I think I have everything I need for any of the recipes. Really hoping that's a successful spring season. It is summertime. I started off by fixing up my little farm area to put down iridium grade sprinklers, deluxe grow, and finally the star fruit. I thought I'd also state I'm working on my greenhouse. I know it's not optimized for ancient fruit yet, but I'm getting there. I went to Pierre's to get all the crops I needed for any completion recipes, stopping by Clint's for a watering can upgrade before I ran out of time. I have this cute little area by my lava eel pond that I'm gonna put all my extra seeds in. It's not laid out the best, but I don't have much farm space on this map, so it gets the job done. At the end of the day, trying to complete a quest for Willy, not realizing it was a handed-in quest. Yeah, I don't think I can turn that in at 12:30. Ugh. I, of course, started the next day off as I always do, tending to my animals, making any truffle oil or mayonnaise, but I was off to complete a quest. Clint needed 15 iron ore, and it sounded pretty easy to me. I needed our friendship levels up anyways, so I did it. Also, getting the last scroll that I needed, now I can finally understand this little man. To complete the night, I actually went to check out the mastery room. I had 2 I could get from leveling up, so I chose the farming and foraging. I really wanted the mystic tree. Day 3, I started by finishing the raccoons bundle, which is gonna help him make kids. Not gonna ask about that one. But it is still really early, and after picking up my watering can and donating to the museum, I headed to the beach to collect an octopus and crimson fish. Yeah, I'm actually too late for the octopus now, and I struggled with the crimson fish. I thought I was prepared with all the tackle and bait, but I'm not good enough, so I gave up. Instead, going to the witch's hut to pick up a void salmon, the sewers to pick up a slime jack, as well as the mutant carp. At least I got 1 legendary today. The next morning started with me donating an animal cookie I got from fishing yesterday to my lava eels. I don't really know what they do, but it looks fun. I beelined my way to the beach, planning to spend the entire day trying for the octopus and crimson fish. I was expecting that to take all day. I genuinely don't know what to do with my time now. I was totally expecting that to last so long. What do I do with my time now? I actually did know what to do with my time. I went to the Skull Caverns to try and get materials and my monster eradication goals. And I can't say too much about Friday because I did the exact same thing. But it is now Saturday and I've only gifted once this week, so we gotta get started on that today. The morning of day 7, I cut down a bunch of hardwood trees on the farm to get done with a quest for Robin. Also, while I was there, getting another fish pond in the process. For the rest of the day though, I really wanted to try and get as many golden walnuts as possible, even getting a bunch of lionfish I needed for the angler achievement. But ultimately, skipping out on the volcano and going home for the night. Day 8, we went back to Skull Cavern. I didn't really check my luck for the day, but it was okay, I guess, since I needed a bunch of serpents for my monster goals. Also getting myself some artifact troves after getting loot from the caves. I started day 9 by getting one of my lava eels for the other pond, then heading to Clint's to get my artifacts checked out. Surprisingly, getting a bunch for the museum. I had to go back because I forgot about upgrading my water can. But you know what I also forgot? A cauliflower that I needed for a recipe. Thank God I had a sapling for it though. Otherwise, my run could have very much been over. Like clockwork, I spent the day giving people gifts. It's gonna be a special week because the luau is tomorrow, so hopefully I get a bunch of people's friendships up. I started the luau day harvesting my first set of starfruit and putting them in their respective kegs. I was scared to run out of time though, so I teleported to the beach with my iridium quality truffle. Thankfully, being this far in the game, I'm able to have good products for the luau. Of course, getting the best response. But oh my god, I forgot about getting starfruit. Ah, I can't replant today. That's so annoying. I got so many recipes at the start of day 12, but I didn't care because I needed to get those starfruits and plant them as soon as possible. Literally nothing else mattered. Except honestly, when I got the worst cutscene ever. People like Elliot, this cutscene was so gross. He's like that pretty boy who thinks he can get whatever he wants just by being pretty. Hated it. Hated everything about it. Absolutely not. But since I was in the saloon, I finally got all the recipes I needed from there. I don't know why it took me so long. Ending the day with clothing therapy. But I skipped the cutscene, so I don't actually know what that is. Sorry. Day 13 started with a surprise. What is happening? What? I wasn't expecting that. But I bet you weren't expecting me to ask you to subscribe either, so... I'm so sorry. That is actually pretty exciting though, because I do only have 3 star drops left. I went to pick up my watering can and actually headed over to Ginger Island. Of course, I picked up all the golden walnuts that I could and then made my way to the volcano. Surprisingly, getting a bunch of walnuts in there. I also really wanted to see what would happen if I just passed out on the beach. So I waited until 2 a.m. just to end up back at my house. Kind of boring. Though this letter from Willie was kind of funny. His poor little legs. But after putting in some white algae to the... Algae? I said that right. Okay, that's fine. I headed to defeat some dust sprites in the mines. The next day, I woke up to Jody on my doorstep, asking me to bring a largemouth bass to a dinner she was hosting tonight, which was sweet. I also got a request from Kent, so I decided to turn it into a gift-giving day. Also, because of the luau, I had so many cutscenes to go through. It's like an information overload. Like, I mean, shit, I already knew about their relationship, but now I get to catch them in the act. Anyways, I gave a starfruit to Ken and then joined him and his family for dinner. Kinda awkward though, cause it ended by saying I felt a part of the family. I don't. I find it actually kinda odd. I ended the night with another cutscene, but of Kent getting horrible war flashbacks. Day 16 was pretty normal. I just did a bunch of stuff around the farm. Day 17, I collected the fishing mastery and then went to the mines for my monster eradication goals. Luckily, completing them for the skeletons, getting this sick ass mask in the process. Day 18 was relatively the same, but my morning routine changed. Because I got my first set of starfruit wine that I just sold, no aging here, I am broke. Then actually went to the sewers to start collecting some fiber, and now I head to the mines. No goals met, but I did pass out in the Adventurers Guild, waking up to a bunch of money. What? Wait, really? What? I didn't know that. I did it. Okay. I had to make so much more money though. I again started the morning with a fiber run and actually going to upgrade my house. I couldn't even age the wine yesterday without a cellar, so I should probably just get started on that. After, I headed to the mines and actually finished the slime quest and getting the scroll that my lava eels wanted. I would love to finish my monster quest, but it is Saturday. And I have people to see and people to please. Oh my god, it's Trout Derby Day. I forgot. Obviously, I needed to see my boys, but I wasn't really too excited about the derby. Oh my god, finally! Is that it? Is that it? Really? If it wasn't obvious, I'm not returning. Day 21 started with me being a horrible partner. I decided to put Leah's sculpture just up in our house. I don't really know what to do with it. Crazy enough, I actually contributed to the missing bundle because I forgot about it for a bit and then headed to the mines, completing the Dougie quest. Day 22, however, we're living large. I actually don't know why it split up my crops chest. That's kind of annoying. Today was a treat though, because even I don't really understand what I got up to today. I think I was just chatting people up. I made a new hat. Yippee. I got a void salmon for the missing bundle, and also finally got my $20,000 star drop. It is now the green rain day, and you know me, I wanted any piece of fiber I could get. I thought everyone would be in the saloon again. I was wrong. So I got some geodes assessed, getting this super cool shirt, and spent the day foraging and gifting when I could. I woke up on day 24 thinking I looked like Seuss from Gravity Falls, so I changed. I spent the first half of the day working in my greenhouse since it's almost done, and then going to the mines, almost completing my dust sprite goal. Day 25, we say goodbye to my second lava eel pond because I just could never find the 3 lava quartz it needed. So now we have a sturgeon pond. Also, pretty okay. I went to the mines today, but to look for ectoplasm actually, that the wizard requested. Giving it to him quickly and then just heading back to the mines. It took me so long, but I finally noticed that the raccoons have a child. How cute. And then went to go get fiber. See, this craft I'm trying to do has 999 fiber. I have 998. I scavenged around a bit and was finally able to create the Statue of Blessing, which I can touch to give me a little daily buff. I think it's super useful, just not today, because I'm not fishing. Before Robin Shop closed for the day, I went and got my final house upgrade, then went to Ginger Island, opening up the East Island for myself. Once I got this war memento from this random lady on the beach, I went and got a bunch of golden walnuts. Finally, able to build myself a house on the island. The second to last day of summer started with me talking to a frog for potential 15 walnuts in the future, and getting a blue discus for my fishing catalog. That's when I decided to go home and do something about this war memento. I took it to Kent, which took me to Gus, then to Sandy, then to George, the wizard, and finally, Lily. Now I have the exact thing the lady was looking for, but instead of giving it to her tonight, I went mining. Of course, finding a bunch of fire quartz after I already got rid of my lava eel. Of course. After letting my purple mushrooms sit in a dehydrator for a bit, I finally have everything needed for the raccoons, earning me the silliest little hat. And of course, this is the last day of summer, so I finally got rid of my star fruit. I had a good enough amount of materials, so I actually decided to go to Skull Cavern today, getting a dino room for once, but totally accidentally skipping the midnight jellies. Whoops. And that completes summer. I got all the crops and the fish needed during the season, and a bunch of people now have max hearts. So I'd say that's pretty successful. Day 1 of fall started by appeasing my little lava eels and sturgeon, then going over to all my farms and getting those prepared for the season. What I wasn't prepared for though was some family drama. Marnie, Jas, and I caught Shane coming out of the bar. So scandalous. I went and got some items assessed and finally got that stupid ancient doll I missed out on during the desert festival. I was actually really nervous about that one. The rest of day 1 spent getting the crops I needed, then planting them in the dumbest way. Don't look at my grapes. Don't do it. I woke up day 2 to a new piece of furniture in my house. I can't even be mad because it was kind of cute. As I've done at the start of other months though, it is fishing time. Getting a salmon for a future recipe and absolutely nailing the angler. Once I put those away, I collected a haul to take over to the island, officially starting a farm. I needed a melon, wheat, and garlic for the frog, so I made a section for that, then put down a bunch of starfruit. Now that I'm on the island, I can finally return the lady's item, getting myself a new crafting recipe and golden walnuts. The rest of the night spent getting more walnuts. Day 3, I constructed the resort, which opened up the right side of the island, and a bunch of other walnuts for me to get. Also, getting the stingray for my master angler achievement. But today was the day I decided I was gonna get through the volcano. Of course, I had a bunch of walnuts to get, but my main objective was reaching the end. At 1:40 a.m., getting to the last floor and passing out. I was super scared because I didn't know if that counts as reaching the forge, but guess what? It did. On day 4, I went to see Leo real quick, then headed back to Pelican Town. Surprisingly, ending my family drama saga. No, Shane's not drinking again. It's even worse. He's a gamer. I'm sorry. I got to sell my next set of starfruit wine, but while I was giving people's gifts for the rest of the night, our little friends were fighting! And I mean actually fighting. Luckily, I think this cutscene squashes their beef. Hopefully. But poor little man was bruised. The morning of Friday the 5th, I finally got to complete the Lost Bundle, which gets me the movie theater. While I was in town, I also upgraded my shed and got all the recipes I needed to buy from Robin. Spending the rest of the day cutting down a bunch of trees for materials and missing the traveling cart by a second. Of course, while I slept, getting the cute little Junimo cutscene. Nothing crazy happened on the 6th. I got a heart blessing, so I spent my day talking to everyone I could, completely missing the movie theater. I made a big blunder. Day 7, getting rid of my eggplants. The raccoons needed eggplant juice. But don't worry, I got it back and then put it into the wrong barrel. I did not realize until later. The rest of the day spent in Skull Cavern, really emphasizing killing the mummies to complete my monster goal. Day 8 and 9 are roughly the same because I was so close to killing the void spirits that hitting up the mines on day 9 ultimately got my goal done. Also, it didn't fit in with the section, but I did get my serpent goal done a bit ago. I actually got to use my f***ed up eggplant because I could just donate it to the raccoons and it still worked. Wednesday was mostly spent giving people gifts, but I got a quest from the wizard asking for some prismatic jelly. I halted everything, getting the slime pretty dang quickly, and because of my burglar's ring, actually got 2 of the jelly. Pretty dang cool. Day 11, I fixed my shed as it is now big and finally got to put in some ancient fruit. I would love to fill my entire thing with kegs, but I really need to save my materials right now. In the later half of the day, I went to Ginger Island as my crops are now done. I got this frog to come and check them out, resulting in a couple of walnuts. Then I headed over to the dig site to finally get this bad boy unlocked, opening up this cave with a bomb, which now gets me a tiny museum on the island. I actually had a couple of artifacts already, so I was able to get some of those done. At the end of the night, finishing the quiz for even more walnuts. The next day, day 12, I went home and spent the entire day making food recipes. I stopped around 7-ish to go visit the theater for the first time, but it was kinda lame. So I went home as soon as possible to finish making some food. Day 13 was also pretty chill, as I just went around giving gifts and ending the day by getting the mining mastery. On Sunday, I had my first set of pumpkins done, and while I was in town to get more pumpkins to replant, I had some artifact troves to be assessed, which really bumped up my museum count. Very close to completing that. Also deciding to upgrade my axe. I'm actually really worried about my hearts with Leo, so I headed back over to Ginger Island for the day, giving him a gift and also working on getting the little tent museum completed, finding a couple of legs as well as a snake head. Day 15 was pretty casual as I just went around doing my dailies and hunting down void spirits. And day 16, I started off the day right. by completing the raccoons quest, getting some fairy dust in the process. But ultimately, I had to head to the Stardew Fair, grabbing my greatest valuables and going over. I was actually gonna skip the fair, but I couldn't remember if I had the rare crow or not, so I had to be here. I played some little fishy games, earning me some stars, of course getting first place, so getting even more stars, getting the rare crow and prize ticket. I started off day 17 by appeasing my lava eels. They have very expensive needs. And it's really not a crazy thought at this point. I went to the Skull Cavern, of course after picking up my iridium axe. I tried my best, but sadly was not able to complete my mummy goals. This silly little morning, I got to harvest my first ever ancient fruit wine, taking them to my cellar to marinate. After this, I took my hoe to get upgraded by Clint and also opened some loot. Really excited about the 2 dwarf gadgets because I know I need one for the museum and the other one for a farm computer. Since I got a heart blessing today, I spent the rest of my time just talking to people. Friday, I went to Ginger Island, actually panning for the first time, just not getting what I needed. Though I did get a rib for the collection through mining rocks. I didn't really need to right now, but I opened up the island trader, getting the banana pudding recipe, sadly not being able to get the deluxe retaining soil. Not only did I get a golden walnut, but also the last snake vertebrae I needed, completing the snake, and at the end of the day, fishing up a spine in the river. I woke up on the island, but my hoe was ready, so I had to leave, which was totally worth it, because I dragged my ass all the way back to the island. I finally set up some Terra rubber for my collection, then headed to the volcano. I really needed to defeat all the magma sprites for the quest, but I'm also really looking for dragon teeth, sadly leaving the dungeon without any. Day 21 started with a little gift to Leo, leaving the island to actually get more artifact troves from the desert and getting those assessed. I am making so much headway on this museum. Obviously, I wanted to keep that train going, so I went to the mines to try and get magma geodes, since every rock I have left can be gotten through those. I went the next morning to assess all my geodes on the off chance I get what I needed. And surprisingly, I got 2 out of the 3 needed for the museum, which is so cool. As per usual, I took myself to Ginger Island, finally getting a Leo cutscene, but I actually skipped it because I am terrified of this thing. I do not want to keep looking at it. Instead, heading to the volcano for some magma sprites, but also getting some sick new boots. And the floor right after bestowed upon me my first dragon tooth. I stayed a little bit too late in the dungeon, so I decided to use the farm totem I had to take myself home. I passed out. I passed out. The 23rd and 24th were relatively uninteresting days. I went through the volcano and got nothing. And the 24th was spent handing out gifts and talking with people. Oh, I did very easily complete another raccoons quest, giving me this cute little tank that now holds some of my legendaries. The morning of the 25th, I finally have some sweet gem berries. Now I'm being able to take one to get myself another star drop. I also realized this while editing, but the implications of the taste reminds you of subscribers. My bad, gamers. I also had my second set of ancient fruit wine done, but all my casks are full, so it just gets to sit here. I was actually super happy remembering I almost completed my minerals at the museum, so my day was spent trying to get more magma geodes. I sadly couldn't process any geodes today, so I made my way to Ginger Island. I did some mindless tasks like getting more walnuts, as well as dragon teeth, and deciding to end my night by checking my walnut progress. You're kidding! What? Really? I don't even know where to get the next one. Shit. Day 27, I went back to the volcano, but I didn't realize I was running out of food, so this shit was difficult. But I was still decently successful with dragon teeth, which is always good. After the clock turning 6, I literally could not handle the volcano anymore, so I had to leave. I did get another walnut though, so now I was able to enter Key's room. He told me about his quest board with decently hard challenges as well as new currency. Personally, I was more interested in my perfection progress. I'm getting there, kind of. I don't know. I'm trying my best, okay? I know I have 1 month left. That hurt a little bit, but I had to save face because it was the Spirits Eve festival, which has a completely different layout than last time. And I'm kind of too dumb to figure it out, so I literally just left. And honestly, I wish I had a little bit more of an interesting last day of fall. It was just spent trying to craft as many recipes as possible, and the night ended going to the Movies of Shane, since I wanted to try it out. You could buy snacks and you got to sit together. Very interesting way to spend my last day of fall. It is the first day of winter, and I decided to start it off by having a little chat. Okay, this is Recording Otter talking. I am aware that there's like no feasible way I could possibly get perfection at this point. I don't have enough money and I don't have all like I still don't have a banana. I can't get a banana at this point. Maybe, actually, wait. But I do want to try and at least get 75-ish%. I think I can possibly do that. And if you're experienced, you could probably, you probably realized that from the start that I was not gonna make it. But this is the farthest I've ever gotten, so I'm really happy with the progress that I made. But this also just means I get to make another Stardew video, which I'm really excited about. This is also why I'm comfortable enough with getting my banana sapling this way. I mean, if I'm not gonna be able to get the obelisk. Don't let that stop you from watching the rest of the video though, because I'm sure the rest of this is still going to be a pain in the ass. Back to editing, Otter. Yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely. I went and got a quest from Key, which sadly resets the mind for myself, but it also makes it blue. That is my favorite color. How cute. Even though I had the luck blessing today, these squids were beating my ass. Thankfully, I did reach floor 15. Good starting point. Day 2, I went back to the mines. Even though I'm really struggling in the food department, I picked up some radioactive ore that I needed for the collection and continued getting beat up. Oh my god. I'm actually shocked that I even went back in. Surprisingly, getting myself all the way to floor 30. Before going to the mines on day 3, I actually started by gifting people, as my list of people to get to 10 hearts with has drastically decreased. Sadly, floor 30 of the mines was so dark, and oh my god, these mobs are fast. But in no time, I made it to this fairy-esque floor. Big fan of the aesthetic, just not the mobs. Especially not the spiders, but I went to bed before even getting to deal with them. Day 4, I finally got my last mastery, the combat mastery, and officially got started on fishing. I've done a lot of mining, but no fishing for the winter season, so I really need to get on that. Crazy enough, I caught the legendary glacier fish first, and then struggled to get the lingcod. Literally worse than the legendary, but with what little time I had left, I went mining. This is where I had a little incident. I was getting scarily low on health, but for some reason I couldn't eat. The ghost in that floor prevents you from eating if it hits you. Yeah, I just had to go to bed instead. I woke up to a really simple quest from the wizard, so I got that done first thing in the morning. Then, of course, went mining, getting my first ever trinket. I was so confused at first, but I love it. By the end of the night, reaching floor 73. It is Saturday, and I really need to give people. I am so close with almost everyone, but Leo, obviously. So I'm really gonna try and talk to him as much as I can. Heading up the mines once I was done, getting another trinket as well as a key gem, ending at 92. Sunday, day 7 also started with some gifting, but it was the last day of Key's mine quest, so I needed to hit floor 120. It went relatively well, all things considered. I got a skull I needed for the museum, a prismatic shard, but I did not pay attention to the time.
Oh, absolutely not. Absolutely not. No.
Yeah, I immediately closed the game, which obviously lost me every cool thing I got in the mine, but I restarted the game pretty quickly, and this time got to floor 120 with ease. I got lucky today that my blessing was extra friendship, but not lucky with the fact that there's an event today. I really wasn't gonna go, but I actually did need the rare crow, so So I fished a bit, winning the prize, and thankfully was able to gift about 3 people late at night. Day 9 was sort of an odd day. I chatted some people up, got some artifacts from my museum, and spent the rest of the day on Ginger Island. Finally clearing up the farming space for myself, even getting my first golden coconuts, but ultimately just ending the night. I immediately went back home the next day to get some things assessed, which just wasn't worth it, so I went back to Ginger Island, finally getting myself a mailbox and getting a new quest from Key. Once it hit around 8 o'clock, I was finally able to visit the Pirate's Den for once. There's a couple of walnuts for me in here after I played darts with this dude about 3 times. There was also nothing else to do though. So I went to the volcano to try and work on my magma sprite goals, teleporting out around 2 a.m. Day 11 was first spent getting my magma geodes assessed, and oh my god, I completed all of the minerals in the museum. It is done. To celebrate my victory, I don't really know how this is a celebration, I went to Calico Desert, actually getting a dino room, but also getting so many trinkets. Oh my god. I didn't complete any monster goals, but I'd say that was pretty successful. Day 12, 13, and 14 were all spent in Skull Cavern, surprisingly completing my mummy monster goal on 13. Let's go! Which leaves just the dinos and magma sprites. But on day 14 held the biggest surprise of all. I was not expecting that. I don't want to put my own biases into a game because I think I do need this for an advancement. Ew, okay. Ugh, gross. I got to pick up my now gold watering can on day 15, and while I was in the area, picked up a new quest to do. With all the bone nodes on Ginger Island, I think it should be pretty easy. I also finally got myself food since I've been starving since the last time I talked about it. But my day was spent doing simple tasks on Ginger Island, like getting more golden coconuts, and then going to the night market. I have been waiting for this, cause this means I can finally get the last fish needed for my master angler achievement. Sadly, I messed up so much on the blobfish, and it was just too late to continue. On day 16, I went and got my golden walnut assessed to finally get the skull I needed, and when heading to Ginger Island, picked up some bobbers for going to the night market later. I still needed to get my magma sprite goals done, so I spent most of my day in the volcano, then came back home for the night market. I picked up 2 rare crows, now only needing 1 to finish my collection, and got to get the blobfish, now completing all of the fish. It looks so pretty. And yes, also getting the star drop. Friendship filled the air as I woke up on day 17, earning a couple more 10 hearters. It is raining on the island today, so I was able to get some walnuts by creating a melody for this mermaid, I guess. Spending the rest of the day hitting up the volcano. Also, I don't know why, but passing out right here just looks so silly. Okay. Here is where I'm gonna need some help. I got a letter in the mail telling me about the Feast of the Winter Star and how my secret friend is Gus. We'll come back to that. I checked my perfection tracker, feeling a little defeated as my goal of 70% seems really far off, but I am not giving up, especially on my monster goals. I only have 27 dinos and 6 magma sprites left. I can totally do that. Just sadly not today, as I only encountered 1 dino. Day 19 was also spent at Skull Cavern, and the same as yesterday, pretty bad. The morning of day 20, I got up to help my friendly neighborhood raccoons, only to get a pretty shitty gift. I made my way to the island, actually completing my bones quest for Gunther, spending time in the volcano, not only getting a new trinket that absolutely sucks in the volcano, but getting that sprite goal done. And we keep thriving. I collected more dragon teeth and got my skeleton tail after years of panning in the river, earning me more walnuts. I felt energized waking up the next morning, taking my bones to Gunther, getting a nice little reward. And even though the spirits were displeased, I went to Skull Cavern. It's actually not looking too great, though I did get 1 dino, actually 2, but I literally didn't see it until I looked at the footage. Ending the day getting a prismatic shard for my key quest. I have so much much money that I really haven't done much with, and I finally want to spend it on the bookseller because I finally learned every recipe, except the one I learned from Leo. And that is exactly how I spent Monday, making every single recipe I possibly could. Day 23, I used my blessing and hit up Kent as well as Leo, going back to the mainland to take a bus to the desert. The day was pretty good. I got a decently full dino room, which really helped my monster goal. Wednesday, day 24, I woke up thinking I had made the best decision ever. I was gonna build the beach obelisk. I had been talking to Leo a lot. It kind of just makes sense to go to the beach quicker. I accidentally roped myself into painting my buildings blue. Whoops. And then finally built the obelisk. When arriving to Ginger Island, I actually got a cutscene. Honestly, one of the best in the game. But after all that work I spent getting that obelisk on the farm, Leo is moving to Pelican Town. Oh my god. So yeah, I have to go back. I could tell he wasn't on the island actually, based off of this cute outfit they gave him. So I headed over to his new tree house, then took myself back to Calico Desert. Sadly, the only thing I got was a shard for the key quest. It is Christmas time, and now we can finally talk about it. I could have sworn to you my secret guy was Gus. Why is it Haley? And the person giving me a gift was Gus. I don't get it at all. Funny enough, I restarted the day. Would much rather go to Skull Cavern, but I got a pretty pathetic dino room of only 2 dinos. Thanks, game. It is getting so repetitive at this point, constantly going to the mines just to get done with this goal. Luckily, I completed Key's quest, but that's just not what I wanted. Before heading to the mines on my second to last day, I actually went through a bunch of crafting recipes. Even making the statue that gives me mining buffs, would have really enjoyed that earlier. And also checked in my quest at Keys. I had a rough day in Skull Cavern, only finding 1 dino, but I still have 1 more day. I need to meet that monster eradication goal. I obviously don't know if it'll give me that 70% that I'm looking for, but it's at least another thing I get to check off. So I hit the jackpot when it came to the holes. It was floor after floor, constantly going down multiple levels, and finally, I made it to the floor that I needed. And within 2 dinos, it was done. I had completed every single monster goal. I took my happy ass back to the Adventurers Guild and saw my beautiful progress. Getting a new hat that I changed my outfit for. Honestly, I'm really proud. For this being my first time ever getting this far in Stardew, this is pretty sick. Obviously, with all the stuff I know now, I would have done so many things differently. And it's sad I can't even show y'all a farm tour because nothing changed. But hopefully something else did. I forgot about that! Oh, what a great way to start the new year. No, not that. Not that. I raced my tiny pixel legs all the way to Keys to finally look at my perfection score. Yes! Yes! Well, time to film the next time to film the next part.